we're still expected or anticipated to do all the other things. And so I just think it's just different. Yeah. Not
Yeah,
right or wrong, just different.
it's right.
So yeah. So we've got a long way to go. A long way to go. And thankfully, my
Exactly.
husband, he does the government job. He loves the stability. He is not a risk taker. He is quite content, and he supports my crazy ideas. But I
It,
always come out ahead. It's fine.
actually, it's not crazy idea. It's a very good idea, to be honest with you. And how the things work and how you managing this stuff and how the day looks like as a CEO and entrepreneur in your life. How you seeing the future 2027 and 8 beyond based on AI and new technologies?
Think that if you are resistant to change and resistant to adapt, you are going to be left behind. Random life, I think people want to see you. They don't want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
see perfect. They don't want to see curated. They don't want to see only business. Like, I need to feel a connection in my business model. I need a connection with other people.
With some different kind of ideas, and even though if it's a all kind of good or services they are providing, they come with innovational ideas when it's come to advertising or finding new customers, and a lot of channels are there. But I asked how you started this one, and he said no, I don't have any idea before 1 year, and I have learned everything through LinkedIn and some other what we call Substack, and all the people are posting about stocks and shares. So I learned from there, and now I am doing it. And I asked, is it profitable? And he said, no, not yet. And he told it will be profitable, and he have some plans and ideas, and he's planning to invest more on the stocks. And I advised him, because I am into financial side, I told him, if you don't know much and deeper about the stocks and how it behave, don't put more money onto it, and just you can test on the beginning phase, and you can see how it works, and you can go ahead.
Then you have created a ceiling because you only have so much time. But if you can create income streams that produce without you having to be in it every minute of every day, you're not trading your time for money, you're actually scaling. You are going to have more income potential. Like it can be unlimited.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Ash Allen Talks. Today we're having a very important guest, and before that, these days the war is going on in the Middle East, and I am from Dubai, and Kate, is joining me from Canada. And Kate, welcome to Ash Allen Talks.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. And Kate, we're diving long and deeper on business podcast and business episode, and mostly from CEOs and business owners. And the first question that I have almost rise from almost all the business owners is that how you step into the business entrepreneurship, and you ignored 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 job, and what is the reason behind it? Because a lot of people seeing a business as a risky investment, because we have involved 100% and there's a capital, and we're trying to boost up that one, and the sales is there, marketing campaign, and a lot of things are going on. And even though there are a lot of startups, most of the startups are not successful, and still a lot of people are coming into market, and we know a lot of people are afraid for entrepreneurship. And if someone asks about an entrepreneur, and oh my god, is she or he's an entrepreneur, wow, that's the reaction. And what do you learn from this entrepreneurship, and what's your steps on?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for asking. My journey started about 10 years ago. I had a 1-year-old daughter and a second on the way. And I'll never forget sitting in that chair, nursing after work, and thinking, is this my life? I go
Wow.
to work, I come home, I feed kids, I get them ready for bed, put them to bed, go to bed, do it again. Like it was Groundhog Day every day. And I realized I literally was just working my life away. And so as an entrepreneur, yeah, you work hard. I think sometimes you work harder than working a 9 to 5 or a government job. Nothing wrong with that. But for me, it was like if I could work hours around my family's schedule and be more present and more more joy in our family, that was a win for me. That was worth the risk. And it was not, I quit my job tomorrow. It was
Wow.
a very calculated, strategic evolution. First, it was launching a business while working full time. My kids were young, they were under two. So they go to bed at 7. I would stay up until midnight some nights working, building this business, paying off anything that we could pay off, saving as much money. So we had that 6 months nest egg before I took the leap to leave my job 2 years later. So it was a 2 year of like intense hustle, working two full-time jobs to make it to the point where I was safe, secure enough financially in order to take that leap of faith.
Wow. And Kate, when it's come to the sales and marketing and how the expense ratio and what's marketing strategies that you have used and what is it successful or which kind of channel is good for new entrepreneurs who are into coming into market?
Yeah, I'd like to say pick one that focuses for you. So for me, I've mostly grown through word of mouth, referrals from people I've met along the way, and Facebook. So I am
Mm.
more Facebook. I know some business models do better on LinkedIn, some business models do better on TikTok. Like, look at your business itself, where your ideal customers already experiencing life and
Yeah.
enjoying social media or LinkedIn, right? Whatever platform your ideal customer or target market is, be there.
Mm.
Dive in, go all in. All my money, all my strategies is where my customers are already. So I'm not trying to get people in areas that they aren't on.
Yeah. And Kate, what it looks like as an entrepreneur for you, because especially you have kids and all, and you have to take care of your home and the children and your timing schedules and all, and how the things work and how you managing this stuff and how the day looks like as a CEO and entrepreneur in your life.
There are definitely seasons that are unbalanced. There are definitely seasons where you kind of feel like a chicken running
Mm,
around without
yeah.
their head on, right? But I've worked really hard over 10 years to get to a place where I can clock off. I do take evenings off. I work like one evening a week, and I do take Sundays off completely, not even on social media. Like, I take the entire Sunday off, which I think was like an evolution of what could have been a burnout situation. So I do think it's important to carve out what are the non-negotiables. So for me, my kids go to school at 8:30. So from 8:30 till 3:30, I'm in my office working, or I'm at networking events, or I'm doing whatever I need to get done, non-negotiable. And then from 3:30 until about 7 o'clock, it's family time. Like, it's running kids' activities, doing dinner, cleanup, laundry, you name it. Um, Around 7 o'clock, they're
Mm,
now like getting ready to go to bed. And so I can maybe do a call or a meeting if I need to, but not every night. And then, as I mentioned, really carving out that time as family on the weekends and taking vacation. Like, if I take vacation, I am on vacation for a week. And it's good to unplug as a business owner and take that time to recharge and refresh. And I find that I come back even more creative or
yeah.
more excited by taking that break too.
Yeah. And Kate, when we talk about role models and some public figures, what do you think about Tony Robbins?
I really like Tony Robbins. Yeah, I'm doing the Unleash the Power Within this week with him. I've coached with a mentor from Tony Robbins. I think there's a few leaders, thought leaders, and mindset coaches, and I think mindset is a big part of whether people make it or don't. And so, in seasons of growth, I double down on personal development, because when I get out of that season of growth and you're in a valley, you're already ahead of where you started before you started that growth season. So I truly believe that if you aren't investing in mindset, practicing daily gratitude, adjusting your energy and your frequency, you're going to stay, or you're going to actually start to decline because you're not growing yourself as at the same time as your business.
Yeah. And when we talk more about the entrepreneurship and all, the sales we talk about, and role models and all. Especially 2026, we are in March 9th. And how do you feel about the AI and the new technologies that are coming into market? Because we have seen a lot of apps and new channels that almost it's doing all the jobs well, and a lot of people are using to that, especially the ChatGPT and all. And how it's helpful for you, and how you seeing the future 2027 and 8 beyond based on AI and new technologies?
I think some people have a mixed opinions of AI. So, I mean, from the environmentalist perspective, I definitely have a different view. But I also think that if you are resistant to change and resistant to adapt, you are going to be left behind. And so I think it has a place. It needs to be used strategically and efficiently. The only way to do that is to learn and to see what other people are doing and pick what works best for you. So for me, it's like, can it streamline? Can it save me time? And time is money. So
Mm.
what can I do with that extra time? Right? Don't say like, oh, this is great. And then go and sit on the couch for an hour because you just had
Mm.
AI do your work. It's like, okay, let it do your work and then now maximize your time, right? So that you can go next level using it as a tool.
Wow. And when we talk more about the future and how you're planning to expand your business, and when it's come to marketing and the reels and all, sometimes I think when I scroll your reels in Facebook, how you got the contents, and how it's automatically coming in, and is it a natural way, or you're getting advice from some people, or how you do it?
I would say mostly authentic, random life. I think people want to see you. They don't want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
see perfect. They don't want to see curated. They don't want to see only business. Like, I need to feel a connection in my business model. I need a connection with other people. And so, a lot of my content is helping other people feel not alone, right? As a
yeah,
podcast host, I have a podcast, and it's like, how can we help more women, more mompreneurs take that pivot from employee to entrepreneur? It's a lonely journey. It
yeah.
is very confusing and overwhelming. And there's a lot of mindset stuff that comes into play. And so, how can we help them see they did it? I can do it too. And as a person, I need to show I'm a human. I am a mom. I am a wife. I am a taxi driver of my kids to activities and I still run a successful business, but that's not the only part of Kate that embodies who Kate is. I'm not a business owner 100% of the time, so my social media is not 100% business.
Wow. And Kate, when we talk more about this, and I can relate your life with my wife's life, and she also the same way, and we having a kid, and it's going in the same way. So I can relate a lot of things when you're saying those things. And I have to ask more question about the kids rising and all. So how is the plan for that? And I mean, because we have seen, especially entrepreneurs, even when I talk with some entrepreneurs and CEOs, that they used to raise the kids with some digital assets. I mean, the Miss Rachel or new cartoon stuff and all, and the TV, audio, and the stuff, and a lot of digital things around them. How do you feel about this? Is it just a right way to put the kid in into
I
reading
think
and the stuff?
Yeah. I think I think each person has to assume or assess what is right for them and their family and their culture and their beliefs and their lifestyle. So for us, our kids get technology at the school, and if you don't know how to use it, you're going to
Yeah.
be left behind as well. They're now 9 and 11 girls. Okay,
Hmm.
so I kind of see it as the telephone when I grew up. Like
Yeah.
that is their social connection to their friends. So at 7 o'clock, they get to have a little bit of time with their friends. They're usually chatting through Messenger Kids. It's super locked down because we are like a little helicopter parents on social. And I do think you should be as a
Yeah.
parent. My
Yeah.
kids do not have access to like Snapchat and Facebook and social media and Instagram. Like, no, they don't need to be on these other platforms, but I allow them to chat with their friends. We have locked down what activities they're allowed to be on. But it's important that they know how to use it, they feel comfortable with it, but that it
Mm,
doesn't dictate their life. And
yeah,
I will say I've never had to threaten to take iPads away from my kids. I don't get meltdowns when it's like, hey, it's time to put that away because it's very moderated and it's not consuming them.
mm,
And so I think that's the balance that I think some families have to check is like if it's becoming the only thing the kid wants to do, they're not engaging, they're not respectful, they're not like able to handle their emotions or sleep, then you may need to reevaluate. But again, I'm definitely never going to judge somebody or tell them how to parent their kid.
yeah. And Kate, when we talk about small businesses and startups, so before 4 or 5 years, most people used to developing a website and posting their products and services and promoting their websites. But now we can see the social media dominating that one. The Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Snapchat. A lot of apps are there, and X. A lot of platforms are there. To be honest with you, so how are you seeing this one? Do we need actually a website for our business to show the domain and all, or we can use the social media and go and tackle the website thing?
It depends on what you sell, right? Because somebody
Mm,
needs to have a platform in order to make a purchase. I often see a lot of people with like link trees or milkshake and whatever. Even at a hotel, we were at a hotel not too long ago as a guest, and it's like, here's the activities and the menus are all on a link tree. I was like,
yeah.
what? They don't even have a website anymore. It's a
Wow.
link tree with like quick little landing pages of like PDFs, you know? So I think, and that worked. Like that served a purpose for that hotel, and allowed them the flexibility to quickly make edits versus needing a web designer. But if you're selling a product, I'm looking for is it secure layout? Is it easy for me to check out? Do I feel like it's legit? Right? So you may need something, whether it's an app or a site, just depending on what it is that you're selling, right? What is your service? What is your offering? Um, and can I get enough off of your social media that I just literally am being affiliated to a different site and that you're getting a kickback or a referral? That's completely different. You do not need a website because somebody else has the website for you.
Yeah.
But if it's something that you are owning, then maybe. And on that, like, do you guys have Amazon in Dubai?
Yeah, yeah, we have.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't quite sure, and I apologize for my my ignorance in
Yeah,
that
it's
answer.
totally
But
fine.
I think of Amazon, for example. On our podcast last week, we interviewed a lady, and she shared how expensive it is to sell on Amazon, the amount of fees that she's charged, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and how small businesses, 99% of it, fail because they can't afford to operate and carry the inventory and handle the amount of returns that are occurring through that platform. Not saying it's bad, she just realized they needed to have both a website that they owned and managed for one product, their main product, so they kept more of the profit. And then they used Amazon to test out new product before they carried it in larger quantities on their own site. So it was a multi-tool for them, depending on, again, their circumstance versus if you're selling a digital or a coach, you wouldn't need that necessarily.
Wow. And Kate, when we talk more about the entrepreneurship and the life balance and the timing and all, so these days we know that new entrepreneurs are coming into market with some different kind of ideas. And even though if it's a all kind of good or services they are providing, they come with innovational ideas when it's come to advertising or finding new customers, and a lot of channels are there. So which way you find the best suit for you in future or right now, and what is your target audience and where are you focusing on?
Um, well, my target audience are people who literally want to turn what they do into a revenue stream. And so it's not about going and buying more or going and developing more. It's literally saying, this is what you already do. How can we turn it into an income stream for you, right? Whether it's saving you money on things you're already doing or buying, or making an extra income stream that complements your lifestyle. And so for me, I find one, just being myself, it's really that attraction marketing, and people are attracted to this life that I have built. But two, it's building extra assets. So you will see behind me, if you're watching the video, I have a little clothes behind me, and it's not my
Yeah.
closet. I don't have a massive walk-in closet. My daughter is 11, and we identified a problem in our town of people having clothes brand new with tags and nowhere to sell them. And so we started a little tiny boutique, which has created another avenue to get to know people locally. But globally, the podcast really helps me connect with people around the world like yourself, to broaden my reach beyond just my tiny town of like 1,500 people. So
Yeah.
if I only stayed in my little town and never left, I would have a very small market. But I've also acknowledged that it's a market still worth growing in while I continue to expand globally.
Yeah. And Kate, do you have any investments or idea on stocks, shares, and
I,
stuff?
I do not talk about stocks publicly. I feel like I would not be educated enough to talk about this topic excitedly,
Yeah.
without being worried that I'd like overstep something that I shouldn't say.
Because I have met some more entrepreneurs before. I think in last podcast, he's from United Kingdom.
Hmm.
Uh, he's from London area, I think, North London, and he was into stocks and investment and all. And same like yours, he also having a boutique and selling the stuff. And for spare time, what he's doing is he's into investments and all. But I asked how you started this one, and he said, "No, I don't have any idea before 1 year, and I have learned everything through LinkedIn and some other what we call Substack and all. The people are posting about stocks and shares, so I learned from there, and now I am doing it." And I asked, "Is it profitable?" And he said, "No, not yet." And he told it will be profitable, and he have some plans and ideas, and he's planning to invest more on the stocks. And I advised him, because I am into financial side, I told him,
Mm,
if you don't know much and deeper about the stocks and how it behave, don't put more money onto it, and just you can test on the beginning phase, and you can see
mm.
how it works, and you can go ahead. So that's why I raised the same question from you. And I was suspecting Kate was into stock market and buying shares and all, but still you are in a good
Yeah.
position and all. When we talk more about the family life and all, and by the way, the entrepreneurship is, to be honest with you, it's, for a lot of people it's very hard. They're seeing it's like a, uh, kind of a Chinese magic, and it's very hard. They feel on that way because they're used to office timing, and I like 9 to 5 or 8 to 6, Monday to Friday, and Saturday Sunday off, and Sunday taking an off and all. So before you starting entrepreneurship, what were you doing, and what's your job and all?
Yeah, so I have a master's in environmental management. That's why my comment on AI. But I specialize in public engagement, and I loved what I did. I loved what I did. And I was great at what I did. And I
Yeah,
made
I
great
can see that.
money.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I think, most people wouldn't have thought of, oh, Kate is a person who, but I was raised by a salesperson, my dad, and my mom was like, always got a second, third job. Like she was always working and she was an entrepreneur. And so I had been raised by these people who showed me like a career path doesn't have to be A to Z. You can make changes along the way, and pursue passions. And it's okay and natural to have something extra. And so yeah, so mine really started as an extra, as something that I was like a hobby because I like to work and I'm a
Yeah.
workaholic. And so, really did start with, okay, we were living paycheck to paycheck, even with these great jobs, just to keep up with this, materialistic world. And it was like, okay, like you can't make more money at work. They only pay you so much per hour. Or if I was on salary, you work a lot, 60
Yeah.
hours a week. and you make no more extra money. You're just making pennies on the dollar. And
Yeah.
I kind of woke up one day and I was like, huh, as an entrepreneur, the sky is the limit because nobody is putting this ceiling on your income. You are, right? And so if you trade time for money, then you have created a ceiling because you only have so much time. But if you can create income streams that produce without you having to be in it every minute of every day, you're not trading your time for money, you're actually scaling, you are going to have more income potential. Like it can be unlimited based on how big you scale. And so it was a journey of learning from time per hour versus a course or a download or a product that people are consuming that then creates an income stream on repeat. So I don't know if that answered your question,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
but I
exactly. Yeah.
used to work a lot.
Yeah.
I made good money, but it wasn't quite the lifestyle we wanted.
Wow. And Kate, when you described about your parents and their occupation and all, so I can clearly see the business is in your DNA, and things are work well. And so that's the case. And a lot of people are afraid of. Some people coming from the background of business, and some people learn and coming into entrepreneurship, and some people are in middle. They have no idea and what to do and how to do. And but still, there are a lot of people coming on this way. So that's a great way, and that's a gift, to be honest with you. And because we are,
You know,
yeah,
but to interrupt, it is a gift, but at the same time, you had asked about AI. And so, even with just the clothing business, like I showed my daughter, like the ROI, the business numbers, owning a store versus doing it from our home and meeting people, like pros and cons, number crunching. There's a lot of people that don't do the number crunching. They don't do the research. They don't do the
yeah, yeah.
projection. And and that's why I think that 99% failed because they didn't understand the
Mm,
fees aspect. They didn't understand the return and the repeat retention. So if you have every month you start at zero, right? Or every month you're looking for new clients, or every month you need new to survive, to maintain, and you're always starting from scratch. Like that is this hamster wheel in business where investments, like you share investments and assets and things and stocks, like that's something that you can grow over time doing a longer range vision. And so I think it's important as an entrepreneur, yes, you need cash and you
mm,
need flow and revenue, and you need to make sure your income and your revenue balance out so you stay in the black. But what you do with that revenue to build assets long term, that's really the legacy that my eyesight is on. That's really the legacy I think successful business owners have their sets set on, is longer term, not just the short term, like windfall.
yeah. And Kate, when we talk more about the business and investment and the expenses, let's take a small scenario. Let's say an entrepreneur is there who have invested $100,000 in his business, and he is planning to buy a brand new Tesla. What do you think about this decision?
I guess the question is, does he need the Tesla for his business, or does he not need his Tesla for his
He
business? Like
don't
it's
need,
a
yeah, and
you don't need his
yeah,
Tesla.
he just for showing off.
I Honestly, if you don't need it, why are you spending money on it? Like I
Yeah.
wish that that was a lesson I learned at 27, right? And that's what got me into entrepreneurship because we had bought the new car, the big house, the camper, all these things. Plus, I love to travel, and you want it all, but you can't have it all. And again, what's your long term? Because now is no different than working a 9 to 5 for a paycheck. You're just now working for that car payment. And so if you want to, like, I've seen so many things and it talks about like as you get raises, as your business grows, keep your living expenses the same. So I have never changed my living expenses from that full-time job. If everything crashed today and I had to go back to working for the government, my lifestyle would not change. except for I would actually have to go to work every day. But my finances would
Yeah.
not change because I've kept my finances at that same level as if I was working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Same amount of money my husband makes, I pay in. The rest stays in my business, in my corporation, and is used for business, either growth, assets, etc.
Wow. And it's a very good advice and for the listeners also. And because especially people in Dubai. So this is a place, exotic stuffs are there. And we have seen the cars and the watch and the dress and all branded stuff. But if you
Hmm.
see the single person's business level, but sometimes we question ourselves, do we need this? Why? And to whom we are showing off? But the real money is coming from the the simplicity. That's what people should understand. So this is very important. And even though we can see a big shots like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg and all, the dress code, the vehicle they are using and all, very simple.
Hmm.
But the people who are trying to focus more on these exotic things, we can see maybe some other reasons. But when we seeing as a business people, that we can see, yeah, it's not relevant and all. So I think it's a Kate. You nicely mentioned that one, and it was a very good advice. And for the listeners, I'm saying this one. It's very important. You have to be calm, and you have to be in your position, and you have to play your game. So this is what very important. And you have to focus more on your business and how to gain more customers and your turnover, return on investments, and all. Focus on that area. So that will help you to boost your lifestyle in the future. So for startup people, especially this will be very beneficial for you. This is advice from myself and from the Kate dialogue. I have got this one, and it's very important. And Kate, I think today or yesterday, the Women's Day. Today is right.
So, International Women's Day.
Yeah,
So you said, yeah, yeah, it was on Sunday, 2 days ago.
yeah. Happy Women's Day for all the listeners who are listening to my podcast and all, and Kate for you too. And any special advice for women entrepreneurs here?
I think if it's in your heart, like don't have regrets. Don't look back 10 years from now and wish I should have. And you're going to go through so many identity shifts as your kids get older, especially like right now we're in a different season. It's like, who's Kate? What is Kate interest? Because 10 years Kate has built businesses and been a mom. And now it's like, wow, like there's a new era. But I also know in 10 years from now, my kids are going to be in university or whatever and we're going to be empty nesters. And so I'm looking for the future, enjoying the present, and not wishing time away, but how can I maximize today? Right. And if it's something that is like waking you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you've got a crazy idea, try it. Like there is no shame in trying and reinventing yourself, because worst case scenario, it's not for you, no big deal, right? I said to the
Yeah,
the daughter, if this clothing business is not for you, no big deal. Like we can shut it down. It's not a big deal. But she loves it. Okay, how can I support you? What's our next hurdle? And we can use it as a learning curve. And the gift, the greatest gift that I think as women, especially we can give is empowering other women to pursue that passion and to live a life of joy and purpose, but also showing our kids it's okay to be courageous and it's okay to be adventurous and to try new things.
wow. And Kate, we are near to exit. And I want to ask one more question. What's your advice for people? You have said that the kids and all, and how they should be turned into business, and because of their wish and all. And especially when we talk about your business and all, where the listeners can find you.
Oh, yeah, you can search me. I am Kate Moyer. So it's IAMKATEMOIR. I'm on all your socials, but I'm also got a podcast, Mama's Making Commas, if you want to hear other stories of women like myself who've gone from employee to entrepreneur, what their journey, what their struggle was. We're on Spotify and YouTube, Mama's Making Commas.
Wow, awesome. Thank you very much, Kate.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate our conversation today.